Your top stories this evening, sponsored by COHORT, bringing value home. Check your vehicles. You may have been scammed. Another victim of a shady car dealer comes forward. MP Duncan rips into UNDP'S glowing 2025 election report. Police commander who misled an entire nation has been quietly reassigned and promoted. And government to create children's manifesto. Protection of this cohort a necessity, says Dr. VINDHYA PERSAUD. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, November 24 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. Check your vehicles. You may have been scammed. That's the warning from a frustrated local customer who says he unknowingly became a victim of what investigators say is a massive luxury car duty evasion and VIN tampering operation in Guyana. Here is more. Entertainer Ruaz Young explains in a video sent to Nightly News that after purchasing what he thought was a legitimate vehicle from a well-known car dealer, he later discovered alarming discrepancies. The chassis number did not match the paperwork, while the VIN plate appeared altered.
When they gave me the vehicle the 26th, that was yesterday, I saw that the chassis number, they sprayed over it.
This here is very weird. This here is very weird because all the vehicles comes with their serial number, the chassis number.
He said the discovery left him stunned, especially now that explosive audio recordings are emerging, linking the major Guyanese car dealer to a sophisticated retagging scheme.
When I uplifted the vehicle, I saw that they manipulated or they sprayed the part where the chassis number is supposed to be. So now I'm driving around now with this vehicle, this black Rhonium, right, with no insurance coverage.
Young told Nightly News that he only realized something was wrong after the vehicle encountered major mechanical problems. What he was told to do, should he be stopped by the police, was shocking.
Not telling the car will change over, telling the car spray over and he then GRA. Just telling that.
The car spray over?
Yeah, just telling that. So because if you tell him when it's changing over, so there's a long story.
He believes his case may be just one drop in a very large bucket, given investigators' suspicion that hundreds of vehicles may have been fraudulently altered before entering Guyana.
I just wish and hope that the government could look into this here and, you know, and see if they can help me out because, man, it's happening here in Guyana. And I have the proof.
Now, he is calling for a full investigation and stronger consumer protection, warning that unsuspecting buyers could be left with worthless paperwork and invalid insurance now that the car racket ring has been exposed. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. A Partnership for National Unity Member of Parliament, Duncan, has ripped apart the UNDP'S assessment of the recently concluded elections in Guyana. Marvin Cato will tell you more.
Member of Parliament representing the Partnership for National Unity, APNU, Duncan, said the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP's glowing account of the 2025 general and regional election does not align with the experiences of the media, political parties, or the public during the election cycle. The MP noted that GCOM's actual communication practices were, quote-unquote, anything but transparent. Duncan was adamant that, quote-unquote, from May 1st to September 30th, 2025, GCOM issued roughly 20 press statements. But when it came to live engagement, the clearest test of any communication strategy, the Commission held only a handful of press conferences, fewer than 5 in total. None of these were live streamed by GCOM itself, despite the live streaming being standard international practice to ensure transparency, avoid misinformation, and provide equal access to all media houses, end quote. He is of the view that at almost all of these engagements, the public relations officer was left to carry the burden alone. He pointed out, quote unquote, The chairperson was largely absent, appearing only once across the entire cycle. The CEO and DCO deferred answers to several critical questions. At the 22nd of November 2024 press conference, veteran journalist Gordon Mosley directly confronted the GCOM chair, stating that she was, quote-unquote, dodging questions, a public expression of frustration that underscores the gap between the UNDP's claims and the lived reality of election communications in Guyana. The MP also pointed out that stakeholders at GCOM's own meetings complained of slow answers, inaccessible information, and unresolved queries regarding joined lists, polling agents, death removals, and voter list accuracy. These are not the hallmarks of a functioning, quote-unquote, crisis communication protocol, Duncan reiterated. He said that these are signs of institutional communication strain and internal silence, quote-unquote. What is equally striking is what the UNDP statement does not say. There is no identification of remaining gaps, no discussion of outstanding reforms, no analysis of what did not work, and no candid reflection on structural weaknesses that still undermine public trust. Every serious technical report includes an honest balance of strengths and shortcomings. UNDP's statement does not. Quote unquote, in the wake of the EU's findings and the president's defensive posture, that omission is deeply concerning. Guyana needs clarity, not contradictions. If a communication strategy truly exists, the public should have seen it during the elections. If a crisis communication protocol was adopted, it should have been visible in real-time engagement, not only in a donor report. If deliverables were completed, Parliament should be able to scrutinize them, and if there are gaps, and the evidence clearly shows that there are, they must be acknowledged and addressed before the next electoral cycle. Quote unquote, we welcome UNDP's continued commitment to Guyana, but transparency demands more than praise, it demands accuracy. Duncan said for these reasons, the APNU will pursue parliamentary questions, motions, committee inquiries, and disclosure requests to ensure that the full truth about GCOM's communication systems, protocols, obligations, and performances is placed on the public record. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
On HGP Nightly News, we tell you now that an assistant commissioner of police who mishandled an entire division during the initial investigation into the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young has now been put second in command of operations of the entire Guyana Police Force. You'll have more details in this report. Former Region 3 Commander Assistant Commissioner Khalid Mandal, who was previously sent on administrative leave amid the investigation into the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young, is quietly back on the job. Nightly News has confirmed that Mandal has now been reassigned as second-in-command operations. In fact, this document leaked to Nightly News lists Mandal as second-in-command of operations of the Guyana Police Force. His immediate boss is Deputy Police Commissioner Errol Watts. Mandal's leadership came under heavy scrutiny following a misleading statement issued to the press and his questionable handling of the initial search efforts for the then missing child. The Guyana Police Force faced significant national backlash over its management of the case, which sparked widespread protest across the country and raised serious concerns about accountability and operational competence within the force. The circumstances surrounding Mandal's return to duty have not been publicly addressed by the Guyana Police Force. HGP Nightly News continues to seek clarity on the terms of his reinstatement and whether the investigation into his conduct has been concluded. So far, the Guyana Police Force has remained silent. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
In the wheels at Courts. Enter for a chance to win one of 3 Proton X50 SUVs, plus 1 year free comprehensive insurance and servicing when you shop $19,999 and over at Courts. With Courts Ready Finance, you can shop now and pay later. Don't miss out on your chance to win. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Promotion ends December 31st, 2025. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in 113 Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, and Marara. Or call 220-9624-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Here in the HGP Nightly News. Tempers flared on day 44 of the election fraud trial as defense attorney UC Anderson and prosecutor Thomas Estefan repeatedly clashed over objections and witness questioning. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
A heated courtroom confrontation between prosecutor and King's Counsel Thomas Estefan and defense attorney UC Anderson took center stage on Monday as Bibi Anish Mohammed, director of the Ghana Learning Channel, began her testimony before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magaste. Mohammed, who served as a People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC tabulation agent during the March 2020 elections, testified that GCOM invited political parties before the elections to witness procedures such as the packing of ballot boxes. She said officials from multiple parties and GCOM staff participated in the process and confirmed that GCOM staff packed the boxes. Her response triggered immediate objections from Anderson, who accused the prosecution of leading the witness and urged the court to prevent what he described as suggestive questioning. Mohammed also explained that 5 extra ballots were placed in several boxes to account for spoiled ballots. The courtroom atmosphere grew more confrontational when Anderson questioned how the witness could determine the total number of statements of polls used nationwide. The prosecutor shot back, telling the court that it, quote-unquote, would be helpful if Mr. Addison waited his turn to cross-examine rather than interrupting every minute. Anderson responded that he had a duty to both the court and his clients, prompting Estefan to accuse them of missing parts of the evidence. Anderson countered that much of what Mohammed was stating did not appear in a written statement. Mohammed testified that after completing tabulation for each district, she printed, signed, and dated the spreadsheets before handing them over to Zulfikar Mustafa. Further objections arose when she confirmed that she had been interviewed by the police, with Anderson once again accusing the prosecution of prompting her responses. The witness then turned to events at Ashman's building on March 4, 2020, where she claimed she observed the returning officer inflating votes for the APNU AFC and deflating votes for the PPPC. She said objections were raised but no corrections were made, and that staff complained of fatigue as the process continued without referencing statements of poll. She said she asked the then CEO Keith Lowenfield to assign someone else to continue the process, after which Enrique Lyvan was brought in. She testified that Lyvan later removed a flash drive from a laptop and left the room. In the afternoon session, Mohammed testified about the 35-day recount, saying she monitored results for all 10 districts and claimed that Lowenfield's June 23, 2020 broadcast did not match statements of poll or statements of recount. Anderson again objected, arguing she was not qualified to make such comparison. Attorney Dexter Todd also opposed her being allowed to speak on the matter. Mohammed continues her evidence on November 25, after which she will face cross-examination. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
President Irfan Ali on Sunday turned the sod for a major aviation project in Region 7. Here again is Tiana Cole.
President Irfan Ali on Sunday turned the sod for a massive $2.5 billion aircraft terminal at the Bartica Airport, an initiative designed to transform Region 7 and advance national connectivity, tourism, and economic diversification. The head of state in his address said the project reflects the continuous reinvestment of local wealth into national development, praising the BK Group for consistently expanding its footprint and creating new opportunities across Guyana.
This is an exciting development and one that is transformative in its nature and character. Bartica is changing and changing rapidly. And it is all part of the transformation taking place nationally.
The president highlighted that Bartica is undergoing rapid development in line with government's broader national strategy. He noted that a new terminal will serve as a critical link, opening up the region by air, expanding tourism products, reducing transport costs, and improving services for communities and businesses.
And again, I assure you, within 12 months, we will fly food out from the interior.
He added that a new terminal is for interior operators, while also creating space for innovations such as drone logistics, medevac support, and a direct export of interior.
Every region must move with it. When the coast advances, the hinterland must advance too.
Major improvements in the aviation sector, noting heavy investments in new assets and modernization. However, he urged
given the aviation sector in the removal of taxes and the people, the aviation sector cannot 15%.
Tiana Cole
reporting a children's manifesto, which will enable the government and respective lawmakers to solely ensure the safety of children remain a priority. Antonio Day was there, and he reports now.
Children ought to shape the policies that we have in the world of adults. We're creating a children's manifesto. What children want for themselves in Guyana today and in the future.
That was Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. VINDHYA PERSAUD, speaking at UNICEF's World Children's Day celebration at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, Lelandale, East Coast Demerara, on Monday. The policymakers said that the creation of the Children's Manifesto will focus on the necessities of this age cohort and will align with the Convention on the Rights of a Child. Dr. PERSAUD informed that despite this convention being implemented, globally, the mandatory rights outlined in that framework has not been advanced in many jurisdictions, including Guyana.
Today, in 2025, globally, with our population having almost 30% of children, we are still struggling as a world to make good on all of those child rights.
She contends that children are an investment, and in order for them to have a prosperous future, these investments should be prioritized.
Invest in you now, and we need to pave the way for you. So by the time you get to that point where you're in the mature world of adults, you are informed, you are educated, you are aware, and you are part of crafting your future.
Gabriel Frockel, United Nations Children Fund representative to Ghana and Suriname, reminded that children must exist in a society where they are educated, protected, and have equitable access to health services. While noting that oftentimes the older generation deem the opinions of children insignificant, He stressed that children may very well be victims of abuse or a dysfunctional home and is seeking help.
So the topic of this year, I think, is super relevant because it is about listening to you so that we can all understand what is it that bothers you? What is it that you want to tell us? What's maybe not yet gone well in this country, in your community?
The theme for the World Children's Day 2025 is investing in our children, is investing in our future. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
Survival Supermarket's 15th anniversary senior citizen sale is on November 26th this year. If you're 55 and older, you'll get a 10% discount throughout the supermarket, except alcohol and tobacco products. And when senior citizens shop $10,000 and over at Survival on November 26th, you'll get a whopping 10% discount, a free gift, and a Survival shopping bag too. Yes, Survival Supermarket's 15th anniversary senior citizen sale. It's on November 26th. Don't you miss it.
In the wheels at Courts. Enter for a chance to win one of 3 Proton X50 SUVs, plus 1 year free comprehensive insurance and servicing when you shop $19,999 and over at Courts. With Courts Ready Finance, you can shop now and pay later. Don't miss out on your chance to win. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Promotion ends December 31st, 2025. Conditions apply.
HGP Nightly News, thanks for staying with us. We tell you now that Sir Ronald Sanders, Terry Gajraj, Grace Nichols, and John Agard were among Guyanese patriots and creatives bestowed with honorary doctorates at the weekend when the University of Guyana hosted its 59th convocation exercise at its Turkine campus. Antonio Day reports.
Prominent representative of the Organization of American States, Sir Ronald Sanders, received an honorary Doctors of Law from the University of Guyana, which recognizes distinguished contributions to Caribbean diplomacy, governance, and international advocacy. Sir Sanders, while expressing his gratitude to the academic institution for acknowledging his illustrious works in the areas of diplomacy from a local standpoint.
One Guyana is not a slogan. It is a covenant. It is a promise that the nation's astonishing bounty, from its fertile soil to its emerging oil and gas wealth, must not become a fortune for the few, but a foundation for the many.
Sir Saunders said it is imperative that national development be equitably distributed.
That development must be just, that every child, regardless of ethnicity or geography, must be able to walk through the same open doors, and that prosperity must be a shared inheritance.
Guyanese musician Terry Gajraj was also conferred with an honorary doctorate. He is known for his musical rendition, Guyanese Babu. Also honored was acclaimed Guyanese poet, Grace Nichols, and actor and playwright, John Agard. The University of Guyana has so far held graduation ceremonies for the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry, Faculty of Earth and Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Faculty of Natural Sciences, College of Behavioral Sciences and Research, College of Medical Sciences, and Institute of Human Resiliency, Strategic Security and the Future, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation, Faculty of Education and Humanities, and Faculty of Social Sciences. The final graduation exercise will conclude with the Institute of Distance and Continuing Education at UG's Berbice campus on December 6th. Approximately 3,600 persons will be graduating from the tertiary institution. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Organizers of the much-anticipated Food and Rum Festival and the book launch was hosted without a glitch over the weekend. Marvin Cato will tell us that patrons enjoy the delicacies and fine cocktails in a relaxing environment.
That's really what took me here to Guyana, to explore the Amerindian museums and really to go to the Essequibo River and see that history and culture up front and personal for myself.
That was Celicia Everhart as she dived deep into what made her write her first cookbook. She indicated that with such a large background in Caribbean cuisine, the African, Indian, and indigenous roots have been placed on a pedestal.
One of my favorite stories is that when I graduated from law school in 2009, it was during an economic recession. Okay. And so I tried to even get my waitress jobs back, and they were like, ma'am, you're overqualified. And for me, I'm just thinking, I'm a farm girl.
She exudes modesty and simplicity in not just her character, but also how she lived.
I grew up on a 67-acre farm raising livestock as agriculture. And so my parents were very similar in that sense.
Everhart reflected on her childhood days, reminiscing on the times with her parents.
A doctor and a nurse as entrepreneurs, and they ran 2 medical practices. And so for me, it only made sense to be able to think about a lifestyle where I go to work every day, do my business, and then come home to my projects.
She reminded what her childhood basically entailed.
We came home, and that's exactly what life was. We came home from school, and we worked a farm.
Everhart was adamant that
this is a cookbook, but it's also a food history cookbook.
She has used her culinary skills, agricultural skills, and legal knowledge to craft a work of art.
So what I've done is paired my roots in agriculture growing up with the agricultural law work that I do through my practice and connect that to a cookbook.
She is hopeful that this book is well received.
So I really hope that a lot of people take an opportunity to read the text, because that is really important to our environmental and sustainability goals.
Our mission is also to inspire and bring awareness.
Take those lessons that we've seen throughout history and put it together for you in a way that hopefully will be able to be the tool that you would be able to utilize in schools, any other education environment, and any other professional setting.
She reminded that her passion is education, so she hopes the book contributes to this in some way. Now, since I'm a foodie and I love to cook, where can myself and the viewing audience pick up a copy?
You can go to www.thenaturalfoodie.com and you can visit our shop page there. When you get there, you can either order it directly through my website and get it personalized, or you can order it through Amazon.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Chocolates, ping pong, everybody wants some. Roasted peanuts is the true #1. Ping pong, you better get a handful. This chocolate is so incredible. What's the snack everybody craves for? Ping pong bongs into flavor. Chocolate coated peanuts, delicious top class A+. Ping pong from Charles Chocolates, bongs into flavor.
This Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The cause, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
Fruta full of vibes. Say hello to your new favorite sip, Fruta Mango Passion. This tropical combo of mango and passion fruit delivers a bold flavor and wholesome goodness. It's fruity, it's vibrant, and it fits right into your day. Grab your Mango Passion can today and live fruitfully. Fruta.
Good evening and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. Brazil's federal police took former President Jair Bolsonaro into custody due to flight risk after he took a soldering iron to his ankle monitor, ending months of house arrest as he appeals his conviction for plotting a coup. The detention in a 12-square-meter room in federal police headquarters in Brasilia marks the latest setback for Bolsonaro after U.S. President Donald Trump is ideological ally rolled back tariffs meant to derail his prosecution. Supreme Court Justice Alexander D. Moraes ordered the detention ahead of a planned supporters vigil outside Bolsonaro's home, which the judge said could undermine police monitoring of his house arrest. In a statement, Bolsonaro's lawyer said his detention caused deep perplexity, adding that a planned prayer vigil was guaranteed by Brazil's constitution under the right of religious freedom. His lawyer said they plan to appeal the detention order. Moraes also cited evidence Bolsonaro had previously concerned seeking asylum in Argentine embassy in Brasilia. Jamaica has declared an outbreak of the bacterial disease leptospirosis, suspected of causing 6 deaths, following the devastation from Hurricane Melissa in late October. The Category 5 hurricane slammed into the Caribbean island on October 28, causing catastrophic flooding and landslides, with some 30 inches of rain. The resulting stagnant, contaminated water has created a breeding ground for the disease, officials said. Health Minister Christopher Turfton announced that 9 cases were confirmed between October 30 and November 20, with 28 additional suspected cases. Leptospirosis is spread through water or soil contaminated by the urine of infected animals, such as rodents. The infection can enter the human body through cuts in the skin or through the eyes, nose, and mouth. While initial symptoms such as fever, headache, and muscle aches can be mistaken for the flu, the disease can progress to severe and potentially fatal form. It can cause kidney failure, liver damage, meningitis, and severe internal bleeding. The Venezuelan government has rejected what is called a ridiculous U.S. plan to designate the non-existent cartel De Los Soles a terrorist organization, ahead of Washington's expected designation later in the day. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio said earlier this month his country will designate the cartel De Los Soles a foreign terrorist organization, FTO, for its alleged role in importing illegal drugs into the U.S. The Trump administration, which alleges the cartel is made up of high-ranking officials, has accused Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro of leading the group, which he denies. The move comes as Maduro faces escalating pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump via a massive U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. It has also raised some concern that the U.S. may seek to use the designation of the group to justify military action. Those sanctions experts said the statute does not authorize such a move. Maduro and his government has always denied any involvement in crime and have accused the U.S. of seeking a regime change because of the desire to control Venezuela's vast oil reserves. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Delvin Neblet is up next with HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Monday, November 24, 2025. In recognition of her exceptional national, regional, and global contributions, Guyana's most decorated squash player, Nicolette Fernandes, has been presented with an honorary doctorate by the University of Guyana. Dr. Fernandes' long list of national achievements include becoming the first female Guyanese squash player to achieve a world ranking, peaking at number 19. She also secured a gold medal at the 2006 CAC Games and 2 World Masters titles in 2022 and 2024 after returning from a major injury. Moving into rugby, Ghana's senior men's rugby team ended with a 6th place finish at the 2025 Rugby America's North Sevens in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. When action commenced on day 1, the Green Machine recorded a 14-14 draw against Trinidad and Tobago and a 19-2 loss to Jamaica before defeating the Cayman Islands 24-5 in the final group match to advance to the quarterfinal. After a disappointing 36-5 quarterfinal loss against Barbados, Ghana rebounded well to edge Jamaica 14-12 before losing to Mexico in the 5th place playoff. On the women's side, Team Ghana recorded just 1 victory, securing a 24-5 win over Barbados after suffering losses of 39-0 to Trinidad and Tobago, 43-0 to Mexico, and 19-14 to Bermuda. Excluding Canada, the top 3 men's teams, Barbados, Bermuda, and Trinidad and Tobago, and the top 2 women's teams, Jamaica and Mexico, have now secured their places at the 2026 Central Caribe Games in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Moving into football, battling in a Region 9 clash for a spot in the upcoming KFC Goodwill Series, the Anai Secondary and St. Ignatius Secondary played to an exciting 2-2 draw at the St. Ignatius Village Sports Ground on Saturday. Ishmael Gaskin and Stefan Francisco each scored once for St. Ignatius, while Michael Wilson scored once for Anai, who also capitalized on a St. Ignatius own goal. The return fixture is scheduled for November 29th in Anai. Action also continued in the 2025 Republic Bank Under-18 Schools Football Tournament with 4 fixtures at the Ministry of Education ground on Sunday. Match number 1 was a dominant 3-0 victory for Dolphin Secondary over the Abramsville Secondary. In match number 2, Charleston Secondary secured a 3-1 victory over 3 Mile Secondary on the back of 2 goals from Dilshawn Allen and 1 from Nicholas Newelder. LeBron Mendonça scored once in a losing effort. In match number 3, defending champions Chase Academic Foundation were once again outstanding with a 10-0 victory over President's College. The captain, Brian Wharton, produced a masterful 5 goals as Isaiah Eiffel scored twice. Nyron Barrow, Shaquan David, and Darius Chester also scored once in a winning effort. The final match on Sunday was a close 1-0 victory for West Rheinfeldt Secondary over South Rheinfeldt Secondary as Joel Griffith produced the decisive strike. More in football, action resumed in the 2025 Exxon Mobil Futsal Tournament with semi-final fixtures at the Retrieve Hard Court in Linden on Saturday. The first match, defending champions YMCA defeated the Sea Ballers 9-6 on the back of dazzling hat-tricks from both Kevin Gittins and Jamal Bentic. Jonah Simon, Kishawn Day, and Jermaine Padmore also netted goals to YMCA, while Andre Mayers, Jay Sean Moore, Nicholas Gentle, Adrian Aaron, and Antoine Gill scored goals in a losing effort. In match number 2, the Silver Bullets outclassed the Hard Knocks, securing a commanding 6-1 victory. Leron Barrow scored once in a losing effort as Sigmund Kubina, Colwyn Drakes, and Damian Williams each scored brilliant doubles. The winners are now set to contest in the $1.5 million final at the Retrieve Hard Court on Saturday, November 29, while the losers will do battle in the 3rd place playoff. Finally, in cricket, action resumed in the 2025 Cricket West Indies CG Insurance Regional Super 50 Cup, with the Ghana Harpy Eagles taking on the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force at the Brian Law Cricket Academy on Sunday. Batting first in the truncated fixture after being sent in, Ghana were bowled out for 196 in 40.3 of their allotment of 44 overs. Both Terence Hines and Ricky Jaipal picked up 3 wickets as Gudakesh Modi top scored with 65 from 58 and Kimo Paul added 39 from 40. When Trinidad responded, the Harpy Eagles applied pressure by taking early wickets. However, a solitary over from fast bowler Silas Tyndall yielding 24 runs was enough to put Trinidad ahead by 5 runs when rain stopped play at 106 for 4 after 21.2 overs, giving the Red Force a remarkable 6-wicket victory. Both Tion Webster and Jid Gooley remained unbeaten on 31 and 29 respectively, as Junior St. Clair picked up 2 wickets and both Gudakesh Moti and Ronaldo Ali Mohammed picked up 1 wicket in a losing effort. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett reminding you to stay in the game.
Check your vehicle, you may have been scammed. Another victim of a shady car dealer comes forward. MP Duncan rips into UNDP's glowing 2025 election report. Police commander who misled an entire nation has been quietly reassigned and promoted. And government to create children's manifesto. Protection of this cohort a necessity, says Dr. VINDHYA PERSAUD. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.